mind games. Conquer or be conquered. That's our topic. But I was reading a Stanford article, Stanford University, they have a body and mind lab. And the professor there was saying that our mind doesn't just see the world the way it is. Our mind actually changes the world around us, sees things differently, which is what the yoga text will explain. They'll say that the Supreme Lord creates the universe. He creates the Jagat, the universe, right? And there's a purpose to this universe, which is to provide a contact point with the knowledge of the Supreme, so we can actually find our way back. But what we create within the world is samsara, our own dream world, in which we are the hero and the heroine. Supreme Lord doesn't create, that we create with our own desires. I want this, I want that, this is how I'll give it. We create this whole thing. So we ignore the universe, the purpose of it, and the creator of that, but we just lost in our little thing. The mind is extremely powerful. This freak, you think you're living your life, but actually you're not. The mind's got a whole character of its own. And the mind's got instruments. Material nature has provided mind various instruments. If you want to have fun, like we wanted to have fun with kirtan, you had one instrument, everyone had different instruments, you were playing, chanting, all of these things. So the mind has its instruments. It has 5 working instruments and 5 knowledge acquiring instruments. If you start to understand the science of the mind, maybe you'll be able to see how it's ruining our lives. The instruments, the knowledge acquiring, the working instruments, the legs, the arms, right? Parts for evacuation, body parts for sexual activity, the tongue, the mouth for chewing food. So these are working senses. They're called working senses. Yoga knowledge will explain there are 11 senses. So 5 working senses. These are instruments. Just think of like a little, I don't know, I was visualizing it like a E.T. or something, an extraterrestrial kind of character, like 5 working senses, 5 knowledge. What are the knowledge acquiring senses? The eyes, the ears, the tongue, the skin, like the normal senses that we know. They're called knowledge acquiring, because through your cheeks you can't acquire any knowledge of this world, but through your eyes you can see. So these 10 instruments are kind of like transmission units. Think of a never-ending radio station, and their transmission units are just bombarding images. And who's the star of the show? The mind. It's a central receptor. It's getting all these. So the eyes are bombarding sending an image, this girl's face or this boy's face, right? The tongue is sending this. The working senses are grabbing them, like they're walking up to the place, grabbing. All this input is going in the mind. The junction between matter and spirit. It's our own illusion broadcasting system. So the mind's got these ideas, and the false ego is the contact, and it makes it feel that this is real. You get so absorbed in this light show, a scintillating light show. July 4th, this fireworks, so beautiful. It's going to last for 5 minutes. The false ego makes it feel real. Just like if you're in a 3D movie experience, it makes it feel so real. So the false ego does that. It makes it feel real. You really think the mind is you. That junction is false ego. And here's the tragedy, or I don't know what to call it. I'd call it a tragedy, but it could be an irony. Here's the thing. The mind, Krishna says, this is inferior energy. He says, Bhinna Prakriti Ashtada. Krishna says, I have 8 things, Bhumi Apo Nalo Vyayu, Kam Mana Buddhi Evacha. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. Mind and ego are actually are lower energy. They're material energy. The soul, Jivatma, the Atma, the you, is actually superior energy. But the tragedy is that the higher energy is controlled by the lower energy. Because we have forgotten who we are, we're thinking we are this, and the transmission is going on. It's going on, the images, the activity, and what people get really is when you try to explain this world is a bit of an illusion. People very get hung up because we're so entrenched in bodily activity. So as soon as we hear, like, you're not the body, the mind, that there's a repulsion in our heart, like, you're killing it for me. And there's a fear. I've seen it, like, even in my own heart, I kind of try to watch it, like, there's this fear that if I buy into this philosophy, if I really take, and it seems so real, that's the scary part. It makes complete sense, seems real, but if I buy into this, there's no fun for me left in this world. And that really, like, not knowing how to experience joy outside of this transmission that's going on, which actually is getting us no joy. And then Rupa Goswami, he says in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, he says, Kamadina katina katita palita durnishas. Kam adina, kam, lusty, these lusty desires. Lust doesn't just mean sex, it means like excessive greed for something. These lusty desires, palita durnidesha. Durnidesha means bad advice, bad orders, not even advice, order. Like someone mean in your life who says, do this, do that, and always gets you to do the wrong thing. Palita, I've been following these durnideshas. Katina, they're very difficult. They're so difficult. And I've been following them non-stop. He says, Tesham jatamai, na karuna, na tripa, na upashanti. I've done all this, but from this you don't get any mercy. The senses will not give you any mercy. They'll give you no satisfaction, na shanti, na karuna, na tripa. Na tripa means satisfaction, and shanti means peace. So no peace, no satisfaction, no fulfillment, nothing. I've just been going on and on and on. They just don't give you a long weekend break. What is the basis of our civilization? We're pushing for sense gratification, which means constantly we must believe, I swear. People say there's wars going on in this world because of religion. I actually often wonder, do people understand that this is really going on because of sense gratification? We're not fighting over how to love God. Nobody's discussing it. Nobody's discussing how to serve the Supreme. Where do you see that as a discussion topic? How to give your whole life to the service of the Supreme? Nobody's talking about it. My way, my way, my way. What they're really not saying, covered behind the my way, is my pleasure, my pleasure, my pleasure. I am going to be happy if this place belongs to me and I can do like this here and I can make other people do like that here. Nobody is talking about how to clean your heart, how to purify your existence, how to control your senses. Nobody's fighting on that. So actually the struggle is our religion is, like, those who are honest with themselves will see, our religion is sense gratification. And our mantra is work, buy, consume, and die. We're just fighting over that. And when the mantra is work, buy, consume, and die, nobody in this universe can provide you enough for your greed. There's enough for everybody's needs, but there's not enough for everybody's greed. And as a society, we are taught to be greedy. We don't say it like that, but we say, do what you feel is right. Follow your heart. How do you follow your heart? You put an ECG, read the reading. How do you follow your heart? What you're saying is follow your mind. And the mind's just like a bottomless pit. You just put. It will never be satisfied because it's the very nature of the mind.